Well, we're only a couple weeks away from our big open beta build, and even though we don't have an exact release date yet, we're already getting detailed information on what will be in this build from the developers themselves. So in this video, I want to share with you guys a few things that I've heard will be coming to this build that has caught my attention. The first being the new bleed out function your soldier will have when he or she is down. So if you get shot by an enemy player right now in the alpha, you had to wait for a medic to revive you, or you'd have to wait for that bleed out to finish. You didn't have control over it, but now there will be a function for you to bleed out to speed that time up. Lassie, who is another Battlefield YouTuber, did a really good video describing kind of the feeling of having to wait out. You know, in the video he quickly posts, he shows himself being killed and then having enough time to go downstairs, make a cup of tea, drink it, and come back upstairs and still find out he's still bleeding out. So I think that described it out really well, and it caught Daniel Berlin's attention, and he replied to it on Twitter and said, in addition to the call for revive function in the man down state, we have added a bleed out function as well. This is, however, not present in the alpha, since this is an old version of the game and it does not represent the current state of Battlefield 5. Hearing this bleed out function coming to Battlefield 5 makes me really happy. I like, as a player, being able to choose what I want to do instead of being forced to have to do one thing or another. Ideally, it would be great if we could get revived all the time, but there are situations where you'll find yourself out in the middle of no man's land, and even if there is no bleed out function, it still doesn't matter. There's no one going to be able to reach you in time. So having that option there to bleed out is going to make the game much more enjoyable, in my opinion. The second thing on my list that's caught my attention is the improvements coming to seeing enemy players on the battlefield. If you had a chance to try out the alpha, you would know how difficult it was to seeing the enemy players you were battling. I think Westy summarized this really well in a tweet where he said, Battlefield 5's biggest problem, visibility. You still can't see anyone. This again caught Daniel Berlin's attention, where he replied and said, yes, we've been hard at work fixing the visibility problems. It's a balance between character lighting, world lighting, and general clutter. Effects on screen at any given time. You'll see the results of this in the open beta. So even though this isn't a new feature like the bleed out function, and this is more on the performance side, it's definitely needed, and it will definitely give us a better representation of what Battlefield 5 will be like. It was very hard experiencing this in the alpha and really judging Battlefield 5 for what it is. This is why I'm very excited to see this improvement coming for us in the open beta. The final and biggest one that caught my attention is the new map coming to the open beta. We know this from a David Sirlin tweet, where he replied to someone asking if there would be a new map included inside Gamescom/beta build. He replied this and said, yes, new map. So we know for certain a new map is coming to the open beta. No exact details on the open beta yet. Still think we have to wait till Gamescom for that. But we have information already coming out on what the Gamescom build will be like. Now we know in the Gamescom build there will be Arctic Forge and Rotterdam playable. So if this follows the same pattern as the Battlefield 1 Gamescom build, where everyone got to play Sinai Desert, we should be playing the exact same maps in the open beta. So we should expect to see Arctic Forge and Rotterdam show up for us in the open beta, which I think is really cool to have possibly two maps there, as we didn't get a real chance to try out Arctic Forge for what it is, now having these new improvements coming to the open beta. These are just a few of the new improvements and features coming to the open beta that has caught my attention. Do keep in mind, in that last tweet where David Sirlin replied about a new map, spawned from an original tweet of his where he said playing the Battlefield 5 close alpha just after the Gamescom open beta build makes you appreciate just how much awesome work has gone into the game since May. Wow. So do keep in mind there's going to be a lot more features coming, I'd imagine, so get ready for the big open beta build. If there's any new features you've heard about that have caught your attention, feel free to post them down in the comments below. But that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin. I'll catch you guys again later.